We currently have a crazy deal going on over at poodlecfb.com. If you use code BACKTOSCHOOL, all lowercase with the number 2 in the middle, you get 50% off the annual plan. And if you use code BACKTOSCHOOL2025, again, all lowercase with the number 2, you get 40% off the monthly plan. That is the best deal we've ever ran over there. Make sure to take advantage. This is a locked-in grandfather deal, so if you lock yourself into this deal, you have it for the lifetime of your membership. So come check it out, sign up, don't miss out on the best deal we've ever ran. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 26 video, and in today's video, I'm gonna be going over how to change archetypes on offense in Dynasty mode. As if you haven't already, over on Poodle CFB, we're running a code half off, all lowercase, no space, just half off. You get 50% off any plan over on the site, which is an insane deal because it is a recurring grandfathered deal, and you gain access to so much. We have our Discord of over 1,000 members, some of the brightest minds in the community, constantly workshopping. We have our recruiting strategy, our transfer portal strategy, in season, our general chat. We have loads of stuff over there. We also have our CFB guide, which is a readable and easily digestible version of everything we do for you guys who just want to pop in there here and there and just kind of get the latest and greatest on the game. We also have our position change series and a spreadsheet of over 1,000 lines. Basically, if you want to dominate Dynasty and you're not already in there, you're falling behind, and I promise you, some of your league mates secretly are members. So come check it out, guys. Use code half off. Let's get into it. Guys, after so many requests over on YouTube, poodlecfb.com, we put together a list that actually helps you understand archetype importance. I'm going to be going over it in this video, but if you are a poodlecfb.com member, make sure to head over to the CFB Guide 26. It's over in the Discord chat or over on the site. It's a Google Doc. Once you access it, scroll down to archetype importance section. Everything will be laid out there, very scientific, very percentage based. Go check that out. But for you guys watching over in the video, we're going to do our best to explain this to you for all of you who are looking to change archetypes. Now, if you guys don't already know, archetypes in this game, while they seem predetermined, are based on stats. So if a player is built a certain way, they're going to be a certain archetype. Now, the difference is, though, is how much of a makeup is there. For instance, there's certain groups where you have to have 50% of your stats being throw power to be this, 50% of your stats being accuracy to be that. And that's what we're going to go over today. So we're going to go position by position over on the roster. And I mean, take notes if you guys would like, and show you guys how to break down and how your player has to be built to be a certain archetype and how to really respec them, especially when you're trying to utilize position change methods. Like last year, moving a halfback to a wide receiver to then a cornerback to drop the catching, and then back to a running back so that you could respec your receiving back to an elusive back to get platinum shifty. Very, very strategic stuff that we do over here to get you guys to get your player, because platinum shifty was the best ability. So when you'd have a 95 speed, 95 COD running back at receiving back who got the worst abilities, we strategically we strategically put it together so that you could actually take him into a platinum meta back and still keep the speed and the change of direction while sacrificing catching and awareness. But let's get into a start. We're going to do offense for this video because it's quite a bit. So start for quarterback. If you wanted to get a pocket passer quarterback, the skill groups you want to invest in are going to be accuracy and power. So accuracy and power is going to be these top two. You need your throw power to be 25% of your overall makeup. You need your short and medium throw accuracies as 18% overall. So to get a pocket passer, your throw power, your short and medium basically account for approximately, let's do some quick math here, 35, 43. 43% of your overall has to be determined by this. So you need to calculate the percentage of your player currently. So what you'd want to do with a player like Russell, you'd probably have to position change him enough to kill his acceleration, like moving him to a position. And if you watch my other video about the position changes not to make, theoretically, you can move a quarterback into one of those spots to kill his acceleration enough to get his quickness down enough to increase the accuracy and power. So there's a player that it's likely not possible to get him into a pocket passer, but this is really helpful when you have players on the cusp. Like when you recruit an 80 speed quarterback who's a dual threat or a backfield creator, but very quickly could be a pocket passer, especially if you're close to an ability you really want. Well, let's say you're in year 3, junior year, and you learned about this meta ability and you wish that Russell could have the dots ability and you can't get it at dual threat, and so on and so forth. So that's how you make a pocket passer. For a backfield creator, you want accuracy and elusiveness. You don't care for power. So what you want is your deep throw accuracy to be and throw under run pressure to be 15%, and your break sack to be 8%. Again, none of this is an exact science. Obviously, calculating this may be very tough, and that's why the guide's very helpful. But keep that in mind. You're aiming for deep throw accuracy and throw under pressure. This needs to account for about 23%, and you become a backfield creator, which is why I said before, pocket passer, if you're on the cusp, it could be very simple for you to kill your acceleration in one of these builds. Dual threat. Invest in power, quickness, and elusiveness. So you want your throw power to be high, and you want your elusiveness and quickness to be high. So this is a guy who currently is a dual threat, which makes sense. His power is one of his highest things, and his 2 second highest things are elusiveness and quickness. And like I said, if you were to kill his acceleration using the other method, you may actually be able to drop him into a different category. So you want your throw power to be 22%, your speed to be 6, and your break tackle to be 10% of your overall rating. Now, if you're a poodlecfb.com member, we do have our player rating calculator, and you could kind of put them in and kind of see what the weight currently is. So if you're a member over there, it's even more helpful. You just put their stats into the calculator and you can see what the percentages are already for you. Pure runner. If you're a pure runner, you want to invest in elusiveness and IQ. So this is going to be agility 9% and ball carrier vision 13% of your actual rating overall. And this makes sense. This is another one that would be easy to kill. If this guy was a pure runner and you want to kill this, just put him in a position that kills his awareness, and you could likely drop his IQ down, and that would be the way to do it. That's what I'd recommend if you absolutely needed to do it, but you will kill his overall a bit. Let's head over to running back. Let's see what we're starting with here. Let's look at Richard Young, East-West playmaker. So if you want a contact seeker, you can only invest in power. You want to go all in on power. Trucking needs to be 13%, and carrying needs to be 13%, but only that and not catching. So you want to avoid touching your catching, and you want to, which is a problem because obviously this is included here. So this is a situation where you want your carrying to go up, but you don't want your catching to go up. So a way you would do this, again, this is why what we do over there is so cool. What you could do here is you upgrade him. Like, let's say you upgrade his catching here. See, his carrying's going up, his carrying's going up, but now his catching is going too high, and you may run the risk of becoming a receiver. Now what you do is you move him to wide receiver and cornerback, and then you keep rotating that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You'll actually drop his catching down to like a 40, and now you'll have the carrying and not the catching. That's a way to get a contact seeker back. Next, East-West playmaker. Invest in only elusiveness. You want to just be straight elusiveness. You want your agility to be 12%, your juke move to be 9%, your spin move and change of direction to be 8%. So basically just go all in on this, and then by process of position changing, try to kill another portion of their tree. Backfield threat. Invest in hands, elusiveness, and route running. Hands, elusiveness, and route running. This is going to be catching 14%, catching traffic 5%, and short running 12%. Another way to do this mentally is if I say something is 25%, 5, and 5, that means that you should likely, if you want to like ratio that out, 100% is times 4, and the other one's going to be times 4. That means for every 5 times that you upgrade the 25% thing, you should upgrade the other ones 1 time. That's a good way to kind of balance out these percentages if you're a math guy. If you're not, use ChatGPT to kind of explain what I'm saying. North-south blocker, invest strictly in power. You want your pass blocking to be 5%. If you go over here, pass blocking to be 5%, your pass block finesse to be 5%, not available to upgrade for halfbacks. Obviously, what you could do there is move them to a tackle position, upgrade their blocking. I don't think you're going to do this, but upgrade their blocking and then move them back. But you'd upgrade their power in another spot. North-south receiver. You want to invest in power, hands, and route running. Their strength needs to be 8%, their catching needs to be 7%, and their short running needs to be about 6% of their build. These are very easy to build because as you upgrade, hands are usually pretty cheap and something that if you're in an auto league, you can upgrade. Again, this works a lot better in manual. Elusive bruiser. You want to invest in elusiveness and power. Your break tackle needs to be 7% and your strength needs to be 10%. That's basically it. Very simple. Elusiveness and power, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then you can always move to wide receiver or cornerback to kill hands, because you'll find often running backs which just randomly have really great hands, especially in auto league. They're going to upgrade that a ton. Fullback's pretty simple, but we'll run through it for the sake of running through it. On fullback, what you want to upgrade, we don't have a fullback, so I'm just going to say it. Blocking, you want to invest strictly in blocking. Obviously, lead blocking needs to be 18% and run blocking needs to be 10%. Utility, you need to invest in quickness only, and you need to have speed 5% and catching 8%. Again, fullback's very useless in college football. It feels like it's not something you really get to play with too much. Wide receiver, this one's going to be a long one. Stay with me here. So let's go over to Ryan Williams, who is an elusive route runner. So if you wanted him to be a speedster, you need to invest strictly in quickness. This needs to be maxed out. Right up here. Quickness needs to be maxed out. Your speed acceleration needs to be 18% and deep route running needs to be 15%. Very easy to build. The only problem is when you upgrade your deep route running, so does everything else. So you run the risk of becoming a route runner. But if your quickness is maxed, and they have to be fast enough too. If the quickness is maxed and they have the deep route running, you may have to kill something else, possibly like IQ or awareness, but you can play around with that one. Route artist, strictly route running. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Medium route running needs to be 22% of your build, and short running needs to be 14%. So it's 36% of your build needs to strictly be route running on the medium and short spectrum here. Contested specialist, strictly hands. You want to be going all in on hands. Catch and traffic needs to be 16%, and spectacular catch needs to be 15%. Now, the physical route runner is an interesting one because we haven't been able to calculate that one, so we're going to leave that one out of this video. That one's currently a mystery as we figure out those percentages. Elusive route runner. You need to invest strictly in elusiveness right here, and your juke move needs to be 12%, and agility needs to be 10%. So really, you're going to be a route runner, and you just have to be super elusive. This guy right here is an elusive route runner. So obviously, his elusiveness is maxed out, and he's a good route runner, and there you go. This kind of validates what we're saying. Gritty possession. You need to invest strictly in power. Run block needs to be 8%. You want strength and toughness to be 8, and impact blocking to be 5%. So what's interesting here, once again, you can't actually upgrade that when doing power, so you could put him at linebacker, or sorry, offensive lineman, and try to get all that up there and then bring him back if that was the route you want to take. Now for gadget receivers, you want to invest in quickness and hands and unassigned power. So you want your deep throw accuracy and your throw power, which is not available, at 5%. So again, this is one of those ones where you may move them to quarterback. You may want to upgrade their deep power or throw power. Or what you do is you take a quarterback like who has a good arm with really high throw power and hopefully some deep throw accuracy, and move them over to gadget wide receiver. So again, remember that you can also do this in the reverse spectrum of things, where you can actually start at another position that has these things, like, oh, this cornerback has catch and traffic and spec catch for some weird reason, and he's tall, he has good hands. Move him over to wide receiver, he's probably a contested specialist, and things like that. So just keep that in mind. Now let's go to tight end. Tight end's a very interesting one as well, especially because certain tight ends get certain abilities. Pure blocker, well, certain useful abilities, I should say. The other ones aren't too great. Pure blocker is going to be investing strictly in blocking. Your attributes are going to be run and pass blocking 10%, and your run block, finesse, and power will be 9%, which makes total sense. Vertical threat. When running with a vertical threat, and this guy's going to be a physical route runner, a vertical threat is going to be quickness and route running. This is one of my favorite ones, usually, and this is how I end up always building them, just because I'm always looking for speed. At tight end, sometimes I find them that I usually throw them open. I'm not a guy that throws like the seam contested catches tight ends. A lot of people do, so ignore me on that one. Quickness and route running. Speed and acceleration needs to be 7% of their build, which is why when you find a fast tight end, typically that's going to be their build. Pure possession. Invest in hands. Hands needs to be invested in, route running, and power. Your catch and traffic needs to be 14%, and your short route running needs to be 12%. Your short route menace who doesn't drop things. It's like one of those slow 81 speed tight ends. Gritty possession. You need to invest in power and hands. Your pass block, power, and finesse need to be 6%, and your lead block needs to be 5% for this build. Physical route runner. You need to invest in route running and unassigned route running. One of those things, so when you go to route running, it only lets you do short and medium. You also want your deep route running. So you can either hope it upgrades or take a wide receiver who has the route running, take a physical wide receiver who has the route running, move them over. Their short route needs to be 12, medium route needs to be 9%, and strength needs to be 6. This is one of those positions where you get it by moving a wide receiver over, unless you want to build it yourself, but you can't actually upgrade deep route running specifically when targeting it. Outside linebacker, offensive lineman is going to be our last one. So for pass protector, you need to invest in pass blocking. Very obvious. Pass blocking, finesse, and power. So if you recruit someone who's really good at run blocking, you either got to kill it or give up on it. Raw strength. You want to be investing in run blocking, and you want to be investing in power and IQ. That's how you get a raw strength one. It needs to be pass block, run block, power, and strength. Agile is going to be quickness and run blocking. Again, the linemen are very self-explanatory. You need run block, run and pass block, finesse, and you want speed. Speed's very expensive and very frustrating to upgrade for a lineman. This guy is obnoxiously fast for a lineman. 82 excel is pretty crazy. And then for well-rounded, you want footwork and power. Makes total sense. Lead block and toughness. So linemen are a bit of a less of an exact science. They're all the same archetypes across positions. But guys, that's basically our list. I hope this gave you a good idea for how this works. I know it was a lot, so I tried to speed through it. If you're a member, go ahead to the guide and go read through it 100 times. If you're not in your video, you're here, take notes. Take notes here. Figure out how this applies to your dynasty. There's plenty of videos I made over position changes and how to manipulate certain things. Use all that knowledge you've accumulated here to the best of your ability to make these archetypes work. It is so important to be able to respec an archetype because, for instance, if you have a fast quarterback who's 85 speed and he's really good, but you would love him to have the pocket passer ability. So that was the downfall of CFB 25. I used to get all these great scramblers who could never throw deep because they would never upgrade their deep accuracy, and they could never throw in general because they never get the accuracy abilities. Being able to get a fast guy who can also get pocket pass type abilities is so huge. Getting a super fast running back who can get power abilities is so huge. If you could just properly utilize some of the position change exploits over in our position change series or the videos we drop, It will go such a long way, guys. I hope this video helped you guys out. If you have anything to add, any other data, anything you want, add it down below. Our data science team always takes a look at the comments, see if we get any new things that's worth studying or worth evaluating. Guys, if you want the guide, if you want the data, if you want all of our science, come check out poodlecfb.com. Use code HALF-OFF, no space. The word half off altogether, all lowercase, for 50% off any plan over on the site. It's the greatest deal we've ever had. Heading into the holiday season, it's getting cold, probably playing more games. College football season, NFL season, it's peak football time. Sign up, you lock yourself in for life. So if you grandfather this deal in, even if it goes back up, you're locked in 50% off, guys. Go check it out. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, Chalkboard, they changed their deal from $20 free. I know you guys love that, but now instead of a max of 20, you can get a max of 100. Use code PoodleCFB or the link down below in the description or the pinned comment. You will get a deposit match up to $100. So if you put in 100, you get 100. You put in 10, you get 10. You put in 5, you get 5. Great deal. If you're a pick'em guy who likes to play, this is a nice new app to try out and still get another bonus. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.